What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James. ReadoptionAgency.com. 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And it's Friday. Woo. Couple days without a video. Had a lot going on. Yesterday, Jan got a flat tire, so I had to go switch her cars and get that taken care of. And speaking of that, if you ever have tire issues, check out Discount Tires. I was skeptical at first because of the name, Discount Tires, whatever. But dude, I'm telling you, this company cares about their freaking people. This is not no paid sponsorship. I went to have new tires put on my Porsche. I was told 3 different times at a time they were going to be there, and they didn't. And I'm like, dude, if you just would have, it was a new manager, new store. I'm like, dude, if you just would have told me, if you wouldn't have gave me a specific date, everything would have been cool, right? And even on the 3rd time, I go, okay, this is number 3. Are you going to tell me they're going to be here this particular date? Or are you going to tell me they're going to be here around that date? Giving them an out. He goes, no, they will be here that day. And they didn't come that day. So I went up there and raised the storm a little bit, and he basically gave me my tires half off or whatever. So I took 2 more cars up there, no problems. But we've got the new car. I didn't buy the tires there. Took it up there. They plugged it for free. The cool thing about that too, you don't have to drive around, about Discount Tires, you don't have to drive around and look for a working air hose at a gas station. You can just drive right up. They'll come out and do it all for you, and off you go. So I am non-shamelessly plugging Discount Tires, because it's a company that freaking cares about their customers, and that's rare these days. So I am plugging them. But a company that doesn't seem to care about their customers, which are their sellers, is eBay. All right, we're over. Why did I do that? See, I've been Primo Chemo's lives. I hate that horn. And look at that. I almost did it. I kind of did do it. Ugh. Hold on. I need to go vomit. All right, I'm back. I hate that horn. And then, so the day before that, Pee-wee had 2 seizures. He had one again this morning at 5:30. So we're still, his appointment is Tuesday. So it might run a bunch more tests to see if we can figure out what's going on. Probably up his dose, I would think, of seizure medication to see if that'll help the problem also. But I changed his food. The research I did, I found that there's this ingredient in food. I can't remember what it is. Well, let me go on my Facebook, because of course I put everything on Facebook. It's kind of a nice way to go back and check everything. But so there's this ingredient in most dog foods and treats that can cause seizures in pets. Who would think that, right? Glutamate, G-L-U-T-A-M-A-T-E. In many foods, including grains, dairy products, beans, peanuts, rabbit, turkey, oily fish, wheat, barley, oats, and grains. So I've got him on a mix that don't have any of that stuff in it now. So just in case, first step. And then Courtney, they were out of her food. Well, it looks like they're not even selling her food anymore. So I had to switch her over. So I started switching her over to the same food. So now her belly's messed up because it wasn't a slow conversion. It was a stop change. So she's kept me up the last 2 nights. I've been getting up about every 2 hours to let her and or him out. And it's been rough. I got crawled into bed at 8:30 last night going, okay, I'm going to make up some time here. Not really. Probably fell asleep maybe 10:30, was up at 11, up at 1, up at 3, up at 4, up at 5:30. So hopefully we'll get a routine soon. But what's been going on with eBay? Well, as you probably already know, the last few days have been, well, ever since Sunday morning, things have not worked right. Yesterday, there was a lot of people complaining they couldn't even get on the eBay website. I kept getting that white page with the like the server disconnect or whatever. Anyway, let's see. So I didn't do a video Wednesday or Thursday, right? So Tuesday I made it up to $483. Wednesday, $732. Yesterday, $423. So, except for that $700 day, sold a high dollar pair of shoes that day. It's been another level down, if you will. We are at 9 a.m. this morning. I'm at 107 with that one that just sold, which was a lot of toys, mixed toys. Let me guess, you need to go out. I'll be right back. I gotta go open the door. Gotta go pee. He's over here. That's like his spot. He likes that cold little concrete, or it's tile actually over here that he lays on. Oh, so yeah. Yesterday I was having, 5 hours in the middle of the day. Like 2 sales in that 5 hours. It's just been a complete poop show on eBay. And I saw a comment this morning on Facebook. A viewer said that they talked to someone at eBay, a rep, telling them about how the YouTube community is seeing all these problems and stuff on the, let me just read it exactly, I guess. Let me find it here. I've been talking to the agents at eBay and mentioning to them that there are several videos online with various eBay sellers about the anomalies in sales on eBay, particularly the overnight shutdowns. Let me see what last night did. I didn't even look. They said, I can't believe anything I see on the internet. Let me respond to that eBay rep. There's a good chance that there's at least a handful of us on YouTube who's making these videos who've probably been working at eBay longer than you have. So please shut the hell up. That it's not the reps' fault. The reps are in the dark just as much as we are. Their only job is to write down what we say and pass it along. And their first goal is to not even do that. To put up the wall, to get you off the phone, and be that first line of defense. That's all the reps are hired for. The reps of 2023, 2024, since they seem to have gotten rid of all the expertise reps, because here's my theory, and it was felt true from the numbers of times I used to call in. The experienced reps understood, knew that, and some even said, you know your store better than I do. So the experienced reps would pass that stuff along a lot quicker and probably in a lot more volume than these new reps will. Because these new reps, they're just going to take you through all the baby steps again. Oh, did you clear your cache? Shut up, right? And that's their job. I mean, they probably get more calls that have to do with that side of it anyway than they do with experienced people who see the issues, who actually know there's something going on, and it's not just a simple error or something. I see this one piece of hair that's just sticking out there. That's why I keep playing with it. But anyway, that's why I don't even bother anymore. I made a post on eBay or on Facebook yesterday about what was going on. And of course, I always tag eBay in them and stuff, and eBay responded. And I never respond back because it's pointless. Their first question was, are you on the browser or desktop? That's the first question they would ask you if you called in. So I think a couple people, or even at least one, laughed at that. So yeah, unfortunately, it's just that's the way eBay has built their business. They are building a hands-off business. That's what it feels like their goal is, to have everything totally hands-off, run by AI, and the least amount of people working there as possible. That's what it feels like. Because those investors need their money. Did you like that stupid little video I put up yesterday? I kept the rock that popped the tire, so as I'm working, it's sitting there on my desk, and it just came to me, so I just did it real quick and asked Jan to help out, and did it real quick and listed it. It's probably gonna be my biggest viewed TikTok video, so that's kind of funny. I love being just stupid and pointless. Why take yourself so seriously, right? Nobody gets out alive. All right, where was I? Okay, let's go see what the splits were the last few days. So Tuesday, the split was 29 items sold, 11 organic, 18 promoted. I'm getting a lot of like low organic, 0 to 1 for most of the day, and then they'll pop up later in the evening. Not just pop up like switching, but actual sales of organic. Wednesday, 30 items sold, 9 organic, 21 promoted. Yesterday, 21 sold, 9 organic, 12 promoted. So yeah, yesterday was the pure crap show on the website. This morning, so far, we are at 7. It is reading as of now 5 organic, 2 promoted, but as we know, that organic number can change. But we are on Friday, so I get to do my top 5. And I got a handful of things here to ship out. A couple of oddball things that one I picked up the bins, the other one I pulled out of storage. And the other one is ×3, actually. But yeah, I've just been drafting and just enjoying it. You know, I'm just not falling into this crap. And, you know, I'm staying out of that rabbit hole. You know, I feel like I started the rabbit hole on YouTube, and a lot of people jumped in afterwards, and a lot of people who can have more time to invest into it and can probably give you better information than I can, because it was taking up too much of my time. And right now I'm about 54,600 items listed, somewhere in that range. That's another thing that changed on Saturday night into Sunday also. And I don't know if I don't remember if I've talked about this in the video or not, is my seller hub numbers are now correct, but my store numbers on the outside are not correct. So that was one of the changes that happened when everything started dropping. What that says, I don't know. But it feels like more of a server swap again, because there's been a hell of a lot more server issues. It's not you, it's us, that white page with the black print at the top. This past week, since Sunday morning, than there was the past month prior. So, yeah, I probably had more in the last 2 days than I did that month prior. So it feels like some kind of server swap or something, and maybe that has to do with not reading the numbers correctly, not reading with a certain server. I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm not a tech person. I just kind of guess at basic poop that I pull out of my butt like a monkey, and then I throw it. sling it. I don't throw it, I sling it. I'm slinging poop. I would say the other word, but I don't want to get demonetized for saying shit. Hey, they can say that word on like TNT now. I should be able to say it on YouTube. Slinging shit. All right, custom. Yeah, I hear you, big guy. All right, so yeah, not a good week at all after Sunday night. Is that a scratch, my scratch, or is that something else? So this past week, $4,356, down 20.5%. She's back. Yay! I'll leave the door open since you may have to run out again. Selling costs only at 41%. So bing, brought that down by getting rid of that 15% clothing thing. I didn't see. That's the thing about the Sunday and Monday. I jumped all my promotes since everything was so jacked up. I stopped it, ended it, started it all at like 12. Just to see if it would jumpstart. I think I ran 12 for 2 days. And of course, it didn't do anything, so I bumped it back down 5, 7. I may have left the close at 12. So, right now, I don't think the percentages matter. When the site is not working properly, it feels like the percentages don't matter. And I'm just talking with my store, my experience here. Take it what you will from it. Use what you will from it. I'm not telling you to do anything. But I don't know. I'm getting better results at 5 and 7 than I was at everything at 15. Except for this past week. Well, I don't know. Probably still for the past week. This past week. Net sales, $2,314, down 16%. So, in the pooper this past week, average sale per item, $19, up 0.5%. Top 5 categories, here we go. Number 5 on the list, we've got men's t-shirts. $147, down 34%. I haven't put clothes up in a while. I need to get some clothes up today. Number 4, first time in because of one pair of shoes I've sold. Well, there's others mixed in with it, but it's in the top 5 because of one pair. Men's shoes, $315, up 607%. Number 3 on the list, cassette tapes, $461, up 17.4%. Who's going to be number 1, hats or CDs? Number 2, men's hats, $789, down 32%. So hats took a hit this week with the website issues. Hats took the biggest hit. Not the biggest hit, but the most obvious hit. How about that? Number 1, music CDs, $802, up 11.4%. Been putting up a lot of CDs because I've been getting a lot of CDs lately. Some decent ones too at the bins. So I got a huge stack to work on today to get knocked out also. So honorable mention number 6. Yes. Yes, you didn't get to see what I sold. I sold a original, I'm guessing it was hanging up in an actual Boy Scout place. A big old Boy Scout banner that kind of tapered in and had fringe on it and had a centerpiece, like a crest centerpiece type of thing with wings, if you will, with fringe on it. It was like this big or something. Picked it up at the bins and sold it for $125 plus shipping. So the honorable mention is a Boy Scout collectibles, $145, up 100%. There you go. Right under that is Major League Baseball. Kind of slow start to Major League Baseball stuff. This past week, I can't say anything about anything this past week because it was more about the website problems than anything else. But hey, I'm just a business owner. I don't know what I'm talking about on the internet, says the eBay rep. But whatever, like, oh my God. We're at 9/11. I'm at $141 now. So, yeah. I like that at least. Let's see if there's a couple more questions or comments. I'll try to skip past through these Pee-wee ones. Let's see. Fun fact, Din Decor Depot says, I turned off EIS on Wednesday. I since sold 3 to Canada and 1 to Israel using Pirate Ship's simple export rate with a small markup. Yeah, I don't use eBay's international shipping program. If you can do it yourself, do it yourself. You're going to get more sales that way because eBay has to charge extra. And then there was a point made on, I think it was Primo Chemo's live, that I didn't even think of, that when you do put it international and you list on eBay, you need to put in exactly what that thing weighs and the size box you're going to be using, because then that's how eBay will dictate how much that's going to cost, and that's how much they would know to charge. And then because they charge extra on top of it. So if you do it yourself, you're in full control of that, and it's not as expensive, and you're going to get more sales. It's already so expensive that I used to do tons of international sales. Tons and tons of international sales. And I do believe I could do more if there was a nice, convenient way on eBay to let people know about combined shipping better. I should just put in my descriptions, please contact me about combined shipping rates. I used to put prices in there way back in the day, but then when I had to raise prices, it became a problem. So I stopped doing that. So yeah, there's just no easy way to do it with eBay, unfortunately. The only way to do it is to do everything free. And I've done that, and it doesn't really, it actually, with my store, when I did the free shipping for a year, and then I tried it for a month a couple of years ago or whenever, when all these problems started for me on eBay. I think I did it for 30 days. It doesn't help my sales, and it only makes me, I make less money. So for my store, it just does not work. So I'm just racking my brain around trying to think of ways using what eBay tools we do have access to and the best way possible. I thought about just making my shipping in my store $2 across the board for everything, and just going in and upping the prices, but that's almost like free shipping, and then you still have to think when it comes to accepting offers, because then you're like, okay, I'm only charging $2, but these are a pair of pants. That's going to cost me $12. Well, where is it going to? Oh, it's going to California, so it might cost me $13. So can I accept this? And it takes too much time to calculate every offer in your head. So it's not a real smooth way of operating. So I don't. Hire me to run eBay. I will make some freaking changes. I will make people want to sell on eBay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Great video. Hey, James, I was checking past external site views and views just now for my store. I wonder if you have a severe drop-off of external site views on June 1st, 2022. If anyone else is reading this comment, check your store performance. That was the date views went down for me dramatically, averaging around 300 prior to June 1st, 2022 to around 30 afterwards. Huh. That might have been the date they stopped pushing stuff out to Google as much and started their process of making us pay for it. I mean, who knows how long it takes to put this crap into the computer, and you would think their first step would be, okay, let's stop spending the money. And now let's build the program to have the seller pay for it. So I could see that. Whether that is or not, I'm not 100% sure. But brought up again in Primo Chemo Live yesterday or day before. Yeah, I don't remember what day it was. My days are all mixed up right now. Was it on the 4th of this month, the external page views dropped. For them, I think somebody in the chat said so, and for me also. So something happened June 4th that cut external views also. Speaking of that, I have not checked my external site sales in a while, or promotion. So let me check that, see how that's going. My offsite ads. So my offsite ad campaign active, and that's been over 30 days. So let's just we'll just do all of it. Okay, so running at a return on ad spend at 3.45. Spent $300 in ad fees for sales of $1,036.73. So about 30%. I gotta go close this door because this air's cold front came in yesterday and we almost had tornadoes and stuff. So let me go close this door again. All right. So that's the 90-day total. What is past week total? So the past week in offsite ads, return on ad spend's 5.01. $50 spent, $254 made. So this past week actually has been better for the offsite ads, even though the store has, or the website's failed. That's interesting. I don't know. Anyway, let's get some shipping done, I guess. And the scan form did not print last night on eBay. But hey, even though I said that, don't take my word for it, because you can't believe anything you hear on the internet. I think I got everything pulled. So let's go. Purchase shipping labels. Combine order? Yes, I will. So that's working today at least. Yay. All right, got one UK. Combined order going to Switzerland. And one of my oddball items going to Australia. All right. Remove those and let's get to ship on. First up, we've got Cello. Some cut off denim women's jeans. Sold for $12.14, headed to Springdale, Pennsylvania. Springdale, Pennsylvania. Dun, Yeah, with that video I put up yesterday, I had an alternative ending planned, but then it would have ended the video or ended the series. I'm like, wait, if I just say I'll be back later, if I think of something else, I can make another stupid video later. So it's still sitting on my desk, and I've already had a couple of ideas for another video. So just to be stupid. Because I enjoy making myself laugh. Dun, 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 dun. I've never heard this pronounced. Oshlin Farm and Home hat. Sold for $7.50. Headed to Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, yesterday I just, it's been, last couple of days, whenever I got a chance, I've been just trying to think of different new ideas, right? Just, whether it's the shipping thing, whether it's organizing down here, whether it's kind of like how I came up with the idea of doing the bin of toys and just doing random toys. So whenever I'm at the bins, I grab some little toys and I throw them in that bin. Keep that thing going. How much money has that made me so far? Technically, not detailed like takeout fees, blah, 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 but see how many I've sold. So I've sold 22 of them. So if you just take them at $10 a piece, some sold for 10, some sold for 15, some sold for 12. That's over $200. So just from doing that. So just a little added extra income. Just doing something small like that, you know? All right, where's my thing? There it is. That don't take up no time, except when it sells, you pack it in the box, right? But you get extra money. So try and think of different little things like that. One time at the bins, I picked up all these travel CBs, Cobras. Like first responders, well, not first responders, I forget what they're called. They're the people who are citizens, but they like to be the first responders, right? So they always show up on scene, try to get there first to help any way that they can, type of thing. Or if you're in an emergency yourself, you can use it. This one sold for $18, headed to North Little Rock, Arkansas. A friend I grew up with, Barry, his dad, was one of those. I forget what they're called. And they get little yellow lights for their cars or their truck. Rush to the scene. Oh, that's not going to fit in there, James. You grab bigger boxes just in case. I don't think they're really ever, they're not like certified in anything. As far as I know. More they're just probably just to do any grunt work to help out any way possible. Which is a lot more than some people do nowadays, right? So, oh, yeah, I saw that video this morning. I was like, woohoo! So, one thing I've been saying forever, and I'm talking years, I'm like, if we start holding parents responsible when their kids do stupid stuff, maybe people would raise better kids. So I saw the first parents finally convicted of murder because their kid shot those four kids in the school. So finally, because if my kids did something like that, you know what? I will take full responsibility that I failed. I failed. There's too many people who have kids for financial reasons, or they just don't raise the kids for selfish reasons. Well, you start holding them accountable for it. They better damn start paying attention to what their kid's doing. Jodeci, cassette tape. So for $6, headed to San Antonio, Texas. Texas. So I was like, damn Skippy. That made my heart smile. Next up, we've got St. Louis Cardinals, St. Patrick's Day ball cap. With little fuzzies on it. So for $12, headed out to O'Fallon, Missouri. Hopefully he doesn't have another seizure today. He was all good yesterday. We got this Jeopardy floppy PC game. What is that? Like, okay, I heard it. I was like, I don't hear the plastic popping around in there. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. It's down at the bottom. I'll make sure it was in there before I shipped it, just in case it fell out somewhere along the way. In my tote. So it's not like it's stays closed. Alright, so for $7, headed to Van Nuys, California. Go in this one too. Van Nuys, California. I'm trying to think of like a way to do videos like so many people just talk, right? Just talk. But we know actions speak louder than words. So I'm trying to take that statement, actions speak louder than words, and trying to think of something a little bit different on the video side of things. And maybe something going back to simple as something as the work with me videos is something I should just go back to. But then I'm listening to music that I don't really care for. You know, I can't play the music I want. I got this old pin here. I'm the best there is. I'm not available. Teeny tiny vintage pin. So for $7, headed out to California. Yeah, so I've just been trying to think creatively lately and see if I can come up with anything different. Like I've said before, I can only do the same thing so many times over and over again before I'm just like over it. All right. We've got a Miller Genuine Draft blow up. I think it's a ball, a circle advertising piece. So for $23, headed to Sterling Heights, Michigan. I picked these up at a Salvation Army probably 15 years ago. Who knows how long ago. So they've been in storage ever since. So $23 there, and my international one. As soon as this one sold, I sold 2 more via the international yesterday. So that was weird. All within like, I want to say like 30 minutes. So it's not just media in my storage bins, or my storage areas. So. All kinds of stuff. Jeff. Review purchases. Oh yeah. Oh, here's a Bass Backwards eBay story. So, I had this customer who's bought 2 different lots of CDs from me. Came in, bought several items, put them all together, sold them. Came back, bought more. So 2 different orders. He comes in and he leaves these neutral feedbacks. CD's great, plays great, case okay, neutral. Those style of feedbacks. I'm like, oh no. So I think he left mostly neutrals for all the CDs he bought from me. And they all are similar to that. Case good, CD okay, plays fine, or plays great. Case good, CD plays good, case good. And what? Huh? And all neutrals. Except for these 4. These 4, all neutrals. I didn't receive it. I didn't receive it. I didn't receive it. I didn't receive it. All in one order. I checked the tracking. It's received. So I respond to it, of course. Tracking shows it has been received, and I post the tracking number on my feedback. That's so if customers want to look, they can look for them damn selves, right? So I went through and did the manual thing through eBay to remove the feedback because it's a false statement. That's the only thing the statement says. Items have not been received. Well, items have been received. So technically, eBay should remove those said feedbacks. They have in the past. So I send the 4 off. Get the first email back. Congratulations, we removed your feedback. Blah, blah, blah. Good, okay. Get the second email back. Sorry, we can't remove this feedback. They do nothing wrong, or whatever. I'm like, what? Third, sorry, we can't remove this feedback. Fourth, sorry, we can't remove this feedback. I'm like, huh? It's the same order. You did 1, but you can't do the other 3? It's the same order. They all say the exact same thing. But do not listen to somebody who's been selling on eBay for 22 years just because they're online and they make YouTube videos. Because we don't know what we're talking about or doing. How ass backwards is that? This is why I'm not going down any more rabbit holes ever again with this damn website. They want to go it alone, they're going to fail alone. That's the way I look at it. I still believe they're going to fall flat on their face. I really do. You can't run away that as many people as they've ran away and make the changes they've made by taking more from us, but giving us a crappier product in return and expect it to survive. It feels like one of those companies that buy out companies just to strip them, if you will. Get every penny they can out of it and just leave it to die. And then somebody else has got to come in and buy it and basically start all over again. That's what it feels like eBay's going through today. I forget, there's words for that. I just can't remember what they're called. But that's what it feels like. All right, first up on international, we got the double order here. So let me make sure I get this done right. So Philip to Switzerland, Philip to Switzerland. So it's the Pebble Beach and the the Pinehurst. All right, so we're gonna we'll do the Pebble Beach and then I'll transfer the tracking number over. So Pebble Beach. So we got Pebble Beach and a Pinehurst. Cap's going to Switzerland. One sold for $10.50. I'm guessing the other probably sold for near the same. But yeah, I mean, it's worth my time now instead of thinking about the rabbit hole that I've gone down for the past year with the crappy eBay website. Is just coming up with new ideas, new way of doing things. And I haven't been cross-listing because Vendoo is just, it's become, because I've got so many items. And I end in so similar, so many. So like everything on Poshmark now, the link is basically broke. So whenever the item sells that's cross-listed on Poshmark, I have to go physically into Vendoo and hit sold on each one. It ain't doing it automatically because that link has been broke. Because it's been ended and sold similar probably twice since I started. So I just haven't cross-listed anything anymore because I'm trying to figure out a better way of doing that. A more efficient way. And I had a company reach out to me about 2 months ago called Tree Cat. But I told him his first hurdle that he has to overcome is the pricing, because he wanted to charge like 50 cents per item that sells. And I'm like, I pay $60. I pay Vendoo $60 for unlimited items every month. With your 50 cents thing, after 3 days, I would be already at that and then some probably. So pricing like that's not going to work. The last thing sellers want is to have another chunk taking out of their bottom line, because especially on why did that close? So, and I don't think he never got back to me on that, because he was going to basically build it off of suggestions, right? So I'm like, well, before I'd be interested, that pricing has to change. And then I gave him a few others, and he goes, well, we can build that, we can do that, and this and that. I'm like, well, that's good and dandy, but it's still not going to be worth 50 cents per item for me. It's just not going to. So Like, so I guess he's sticking with that. From what I understand, and Primo Chemo's live the other day. Yeah, I'm not talking about. That's the only place I've been lately. Sorry, but Jeff brought it up that is still the pricing. So it's not feasible to do that kind of, to do any kind of volume and pay 50 cents per piece. It's not a good business decision to make, to use that service for that kind of costs. Oops. Next up, we've got this Iceland Penguins Toddlers hat. Headed to the UK. Sold for $10. So yeah, be more than happy to help him, give him ideas to make a better cross-posting service, but he needs to fix the first problem first. And maybe he don't need to at first. Maybe he can get some people on there to pay that, and that'll help pay him to make the platform better, and then he can lower the price. So that's, you know, that is another way of doing it. So. Because I think he said that his wife sells, and she wanted him to build a better cross-listing platform. So that's how I got started, the tree cat thing. So but the last thing I'm going to do is use it and give you my feedback and still have to pay 50 cents per item to do it. Hell no. Wonder how far he's come since he started, though. This has been a couple of months since he contacted me. And finally, we've got 2 more of those Miller blow-ups. Headed to Switzerland. And did I just click on the wrong thing? Yes, I did. Like, the order was like $11. I'm like, $11? No. So these sold together for $54. So I think I covered everything that I've been thinking about. I'm sure I probably missed something. I always do. Package. Whoops. Poly bag. We got 15 by 7. 1, 6. How can I describe these then? Inflatable. Beer promo sign. Close enough. Should be detailed enough. And that was $53.98. 1, 6. Pew. So yeah, the good thing about not going down the rabbit holes is the creative thoughts come back. And those are going to be more monetarily important to me than creating videos on YouTube out of anger or frustration or whatever. Since I've stopped making those kind of videos, I went from $1,200 and $1,500 a month down to $700 a month. So that's the value of making content about frustration and anger or negative things when it comes to YouTube. Is you get literally double the money on YouTube for making negative content than you do making positive content. At least for my channel in the reselling world. So that's why I'm trying to think of different ways for some new videos that's more inspiring than, and doesn't make me feel like I am repeating myself 50 million times in 50 million different videos, because that gets old really quick for me. Even though I know new people are watching and they probably didn't go back through the old ones, it's just something I'm not happy doing. So anyway, all right, I'm off to the post office and get back here and get to listing and drafting. So thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you all in the next. Sorry you didn't get to see Pee-wee this time. Let me see if I can coax them out since everything's done. You kids ready to go? You ready, baby girl? Pee-wee. Kids ready? They're probably as tired as I am. Kids ready to go? Hello? Still at 1:42, and we're at 10 till 10. The other day, he stayed down here. I went to the post office, came back. He was still down here on that spot. So I just don't want him to have a seizure and I'm not around, especially down there, because his paws go straight out and he kicks, and there's not that kind of room down there. So it wouldn't be an ideal place for him to have a seizure, because he might really hurt himself. Pee-wee, come on, let's go. You guys want a treat? Baby girl. Number one. Pee-wee. Hi, baby. Pee-wee. Pee-wee. Hey. Hey. You ready? Come on. You sound asleep, huh? You sound asleep? Come on, let's go. Want a treat? Come on. Come on. You want a treat? He's just looking at me like, oh, he's getting up now. You coming? He's backing out. There he is. There he is. You should be. I'm 6 foot, so that gives you some height on how big he is right now. Yeah. Yeah. Poor little baby. Gonna get you fixed up, hopefully. All right. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.